Hi, I'm Ben Perkins, and welcome to Communicate, featured at the Gallery Zero with me and fellow artist Kat Templeton. This is some examples of my work. It started off kind of being a show specifically designed for the gallery, which meant using a lot of reds and a lot of blacks. And what I tried to do was kind of thematically link all my paintings together that kind of took place in this suburban military industrial complex kind of thing. So a lot of examples are like this. Conception, which was my first painting. So yeah, this piece just came out of the idea of like what kind of crazy experimentation would be happening. Of course, they'd be working on babies at the start of human life. So this was kind of like a how would you make a living weapon? So that's kind of the idea behind this one. The next piece, Huntress, was my goal was to try to tackle the female form. I really hadn't done that yet in painting, so it was something I wanted to experiment with. And the idea was she had started as something and she had ended up something else, and in a very predatory manner. So she's really coming at the viewer with malevolent intent. This next piece here was probably the piece that almost killed me. It's called Myth, and I have to credit my friend Victor Bazan for helping me with all the ideas for this painting. The only thing I had at first was the dude with a black background, bloody arms, and bloody footprints, and that was it. And he came in and said, you know what, if I'm gonna spend money on a painting, I wanna have some paint on it. So he totally steered me in a lot of the direction for this painting that came out really exquisite. And I don't know if you can see this, but this is me and my kids huddled, trying to hide from the robot. But a lot of this was just seeing where the experimentation of this red and black idea would go. And I think it's a good example of it right here with this captive. I titled it Restriction at first, and the idea was just to relay some sort of distress to the viewer, to whoever's looking at this, like, why is he in pain? Why is he being experimented on this way? And what can I do to help him? And that was one of the goals was, we titled it Communicate. We wanted the audience to kind of fill in the answers. We wanted to give them the pieces of the puzzle, and we want them to put it together themselves, which I think, depending on who you are, can be much more frightening than anything that I could ever give to you. So this piece is titled Anticipate, and this is a weird kind of idea that came about from a vacation and talking to friends. Actually, Kat's husband helped me with the idea, inspired it. This was probably the epitome of what I would say Communicate's all about, because it gives you all the pieces and it asks you to come up with the equation. Obviously it's a guy worried about being injected by some sort of nefarious thing, and you don't really know why, you just know it's going to happen. And a lot of people are like, oh, I love the painting of the one where the guy's getting it stuffed up his butt. And I'm like, well, technically that's not happening. It's the person who filled it out themselves, which I found a really interesting idea to play with. This piece over here was, we each did self-portraits for the show, and we did portraits of our partners. So this is my portrait of Kat, and I kind of picture her as a Joan of Arc empress, dark empress kind of thing. So I really kind of try to accentuate that, and I think I really captured her likeness pretty well. My self-portrait, titled Shrine. Again, I originally titled it Sinisterista. My feeling was I wanted to do something really crazy, really goblin-y, a different take on the self-portrait. So I kind of painted myself as a Emperor Nero, and who's kind of like in control of all this that's going on. So I thought that was a really pleasant piece to work on. So this piece is called The Damned. Originally I titled it Lullaby. I went in conjunction with my self-portrait. I figured that if I was going to be running this whole show in this world, I want to have some place to come and relax. And I was really trying to emphasize drapery, and of course again the female form, which I really have a hard time with. So originally it was just going to be a blue girl and a yellow girl, but it kind of ended up being this night and day thing once I started putting these stars in their shadows, which became a really interesting idea. So I thought that piece worked well as a whole. Yeah, that's basically a bit for that one. I like the little dude here. That kind of represents my id, in case you're wondering. This piece is titled Tension, and my thought process for this was I wanted to do kind of like a dude. I really like Rock'em Sock'em Robots, and this is kind of like where the design came from, but I wanted to be a little bit more impactful. And basically the idea behind it was somebody kind of rejecting their identity and forming a new one, or contemplating the rejection of their identity. This glowing heart orb, the blood. I just thought it was a really, really quiet and somber piece in contrast to a lot of the other pieces that I made, and it's actually my second favorite piece. This piece is titled Subjection. It was the second piece I did for the gallery, for the show Communicate. The idea behind this painting was my thought of people being subjected to the paintings that they see and not really having a control of that when they go to a gallery. I wanted to reverse that and have the painting be subjected to the audience. The other elements were some sort of kind of hallucinogenic fluid is being pumped into his brain and affecting this eye. So he's pretty much tripping out on everything he sees, and that's why he's horrified. The twist was that this is kind of like a camera that's recording the audience's reaction, recording his reaction to the audience. So there's this weird circular voyeuristic thing taking place, which I really, really liked. I want to close by saying that this was a tremendously wonderful opportunity, and I had never done anything like this professionally or at home or on my own. Painting is something I never really explored, and I'm really, really grateful for the opportunity, and I hope you come and check out my future works. Thanks very much.